No, this is going to be the one fish that got away that literally, even to this day, a few years later, I still wake up in the middle of the night dreaming about it. I visualize it. I see it. It's just, it's just there, and it'll be there. I'll carry it to my grave. Set it up in 1986 Bassmasters Classic, Tennessee River, Lake Chickamauga. It wasn't an easy event. It was a summer event. Fishing pretty well was tough. Final day of the Bassmasters Classic, we're running 330 Rangers, 115 inline Mercuries on them, and I was in good shape. I was in the top 5 or whatever going into the third day. Well, my fish, I was catching cranking a gray ghost DB3 out on river ledges.
Okay.
I had like 12 pounds and 9 pounds, and I'm like in contention to win the Bassmasters Classic. But I had a area that was at the base of the dam that was about a 60-yard stretch of grass. And when they were generating, that grass would just move like this in the corner. And I had not been there yet. I found that when I was there practicing a month earlier or so. I'm looking at the generation schedule, and they didn't turn the stupid generations on until noon on that final day of the Bassmasters Classic. So I stayed in the bottom end of the lake throwing white buzzbait. Never forget it. I caught one fish. It was 12¼ inches long, and it was like 11:15, 11:30. I said, let's go. And I made the hour and something run all the way up there. God is my witness. I dropped my trolling motor. And back then we had press partners with us in the Bassmasters Classic. And I told my press angler, I said, between here and there, I will win this Bassmasters Classic.
No way. You called the shot. You pointed to the grandstands and you said, you Babe Ruthed it. You did the Babe Ruth, baby.
Big time. So back then they didn't have tungsten. I was flipping a 1/2 ounce bullet weight. And I was actually flipping a Bobby Ditto used to make a worm that he called an eel. It had like a big rib. It was a big worm. But anyhow, now today it would be called punching. So I start my little venture up there and I catch one. Nice one, nice chunky one. I go a little bit further and I catch another one, a little bit bigger, chunkier one. That gave me those 3 fish. And I knew if I got one more solid bite, hands down, it was my classic. To make a long story short, I get to the end of that patch, and I'll never forget it. Pitch my bait, had to jiggle it to get it go through, and it dropped down about that far. My line hopped. Bassmaster's Classic. I hit the fish, and when I hit the fish, anyhow, some other things happened, but I pulled the fish. I got her up on top of the mat. Popped up through the mat, and my worm came out of her mouth. And she laid on top of that mat, and it was so thick she couldn't get through. And I'm looking at the Bassmasters Classic, and she wiggled and went right back down in there.
Oh, no. You were looking at her.
I've got that just burned in my brain.
I've
had a couple other those, but that right there in 1986, I think that would have been a really cool career booster. And but anyhow.
And that was that was your chance to win a Bassmaster Classic. You qualified for 30 Bassmaster Classics, and you had one flipping on the mat. Your trophy was on the mat.
But I didn't know that I was going to do it at the time. I said earlier in the show that Ricky's fished 32 and he's won 4. Roland Martin has fished 25 Bassmasters Classics and has never won one. And I surpassed his record by 5. So, I mean, it's something for Roland and I to laugh about all the time. You think about that, man. Between him and I, we have 55 appearances with no victories.
That just tells you how hard it is to win a Bassmaster Classic. Like how hard it really is.
Well, to me, I had that one. I've had 3 of them won, and I've had little things go wrong. But a lot of people asked me about the 2003 Classic, New Orleans, out of Bayou Sinette, the one that Iconelli won. Iconelli beat me in that event fair and square. I fished the Bassmasters Classic. Every bite I got, I put my hands on. I never lost a fish. and he beat me by a pound or two, whatever it was. But it was the other ones that I had little hiccups.